So, what is a rational number? A rational number is basically numbers with terminating decimals, or maybe decimals that repeat, or basically have a pattern. One of the examples of rational numbers could be 25 minus 1, 0.1, and 1 per 3. All those numbers are rational numbers because, again, they fit the criteria of having terminating decimals or decimals that repeat. So if we look closely at the first number, which is 25, we know that we can write 25 as 25.0. And if we look at 25.0, it has terminating decimals, or basically decimals as like a finite number. So that is a rational number. And the second number that we'll be looking at is minus 1. So again, you can turn full numbers or whole numbers into decimals by putting a 0.0 behind them. So since you can do the same thing as minus 1 and minus 1.0 has terminating decimals, it is a rational number. And that does the same thing for 0.12. It also has terminating decimals, so it's also a rational number. And for the fourth number, which is 1 per 3, you can turn 1 per 3 into a decimal by dividing the top number by the bottom number. And then you would get the result of 1.3333333. It just keeps going. But because, again, rational numbers are numbers with decimals that repeat, and since 1 per 3 has repeating decimals, it is a rational number. And then the last number, or the fifth number, which is the square root of 25, in order to turn the square root of 25 into a whole number or a decimal, you could just find the square root of 25 itself, which is 5. I'm going to write 5 as 5.0. And since 5.0 has terminating decimals, it is a rational number. And then here we have irrational numbers. Rational numbers are basically the opposite of rational numbers because they don't actually have terminating decimals or repeating decimals. So the examples of irrational numbers would be pi, 22/7, and the square root of 2. Pi has many decimals and none of them repeat, so basically they are an irrational number. And then for 22/7, that is basically just the fraction form of pi. And then for the square root of 2, the square root of 2 is 1.11421356237, and that is a lot of decimals, but none of them repeat, so it is an irrational number. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening, and if you still have some questions, please ask in the comment section. Goodbye.